Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Mark Beaudry, host of RaceDayTV. I don't know who this guy is over here.
I don't know.
He stole this cool kid I know named Sterling's sunglasses, but it's Ben.
He ain't getting them back.
And over here, Mr. Espinette. What's up, buddy?
Not much. Not much. How are we?
Not too bad. Nothing happened this weekend. Let's move on. What's coming up this coming weekend?
Yeah, no, that's good. Let's move on.
Nice relaxing weekend.
Yeah.
We had.
Yep.
Yeah, bullshit.
Put my feet up.
First annual at this point.
Yeah.
North American Pro Stock Nationals weekend is in the books.
Yep. Finally.
We got ourselves a 3-day show out of it.
Yeah. Not planned, but a 3-day show it was,
I'm
I
pretty
guess.
sure that show took at least 5 years off my life.
Yeah. My shins hurt.
It was a lot of fun, though, because you never know. I mean, first of all, come on. Look at this. These shirts are absolutely killer. There's not a lot of them left at the racetrack.
I'm pretty sure I gave away like 15 of them things.
I know. I saw them being posted on Facebook. I'm like, one for free. Oh, okay.
These, there's not a lot of these left, and the back's got a full graphic on it, too, so make sure you hit them up at the next time we're there for Beach Rid Motor Speedway night.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that should be another big one.
That one is actually, I'm almost thinking it might be bigger.
It might be. I mean, that got a lot of attention on Facebook. It reached like 70-something thousand people on that post.
Jesus.
It was a fun weekend by all, especially seeing, all the work that went into this behind the scenes, and all of a sudden it was like, wait, this is this weekend. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Let's start the track with a lot of new stuff with the biggest race of the year.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, thanks, Ben.
Yeah, no problem.
That's the Super Bowl. They put in the Super Bowls before preseason there. No anything. No practice day. No nothing. Right in.
No. And we've been being transparent, so we might as well continue to be transparent. I mean, the reason we didn't have practice day was that we had so many projects going on and stuff happening at the racetrack that the facility itself just wasn't ready. Harmon did lose twice. That was good.
By the way, I did get a message from Harmon because we did put the onboard camera in his thing. He's like, the rumor's true. You're cursed.
Yeah.
I suck. I'm like, you sure? It's because your car's not, held together with
bubble gum
gum and Tic Tacs.
But yeah, no, there was the property just wasn't ready, and projects getting done, and
as Charlie calls it, the Lee Monster was getting built.
The Lee Monster. There was actually a guy, I wish I could remember his name, that just commented that when we started building it. I was like, that's good. So props to whoever that guy was. Hope you're doing well. But we walked in there. I don't know, at this point, just over a week ago, and we looked around. We had a lot of work to do.
It was fun.
And we did it. I want to thank this guy, Jess, Tyson, Laura, the Hennessy boys. I mean, Matt and Butch, we really put our nose to the grindstone, and we got everything that we were supposed to get done. And Ben even added a couple of little projects along the way, like LED lighting and some tricks at the bar.
You want to talk about the LED lighting real quick? Because that wasn't something that was really planned.
That was literally... So Barry Raymond comes in and is like, yeah, I can fix this and this. He goes, hey, you want to put some LED lighting in?
That's not how that went at all. That is not how that went.
Oh, come on.
Barry came to change one light bulb on the front stretch, and Ben was like, how? You could do LED, right? And Barry went, oh, yeah, I could. And like 3 days later, we had LED lights in.
Well, no, because I was like, okay, well, we got to change a bulb. And then he's like, well, I can just convert these to LED. I'm like, okay, how long will it take you? He goes, I can get them done before the race. I'm like, go for it. The man lift's there and everything.
Yeah,
so.
and I mean, Omni Electrical, big shout out to them.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys showed up.
Them guys busted their butt.
They were there till like 10 o'clock at night one night, and Barry's a big supporter of short track racing in general, so thanks to those guys. And it was just a long week, and then we didn't really get any rest to go straight into hauler parking on Thursday and campers, which... I think camping was really fun this weekend.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
It was a really good time.
Dude, I'm sorry. Did you see? Who was it? A bunch of guys from Maine. They created
they had this cool zone.
They created like a circle, and there's a bouncy house in there. I'm like, I want to go there.
That's what it's all about, though. I mean, that camping aspect, that's the fun stuff about it. I mean, it brings me back to like, it's not as big, but like, $40.
$40 to come hang out. They could get their Thursday at noon and leave Monday at noon. Like $40.
And it was It was just that aspect. It kind of reminded me of
that's
like
right.
the old.
It was Burgess and Kevin Douglas.
Oh, that was them?
That was them, yeah.
Good on you. That
I
was
like
good.
when Johnny Clark parked directly behind the little mini pop-up.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was awesome.
Johnny Clark showed up, and I called over the radio. They've got this giant
It was
bus.
pretty much a hotel on
Yeah,
wheels.
and I called down to Ben, who was parking him. I'm like, pretty sure Led Zeppelin's here. I'm giving him a good spot. But, yeah, no, it was a great weekend. Still kind of speechless from all of it.
I really do wish that we did, not to interrupt you real quick, I really wish that we did listen to the advice of all the Facebook weathermen that said that we made a stupid decision by canceling on Saturday because we don't know what we're talking about. I sat there all Saturday. John went home. Ben went to a restaurant. I sat there all Saturday in the pouring rain.
You know what?
And it poured.
This is how I look at it. I didn't see my kid for 2 weeks, flat out. I literally would, I would wake up.
You were busting your butt
he was
there.
sleeping. I'd go home, or I'd go to the track, work till 9 o'clock at night.
Right.
Get home and he's sleeping for a good solid 2 weeks.
Yeah, if
so
not
that
more.
Saturday, I hung out all day with my kid. He was a blast to be with and everything else.
You know what I like about it? He loves racing already.
God.
And you
Yeah,
can
he does.
see it.
Yeah, he does.
I am
Yeah, he does.
so screwed because my father watched him on Sunday in the camper while watching RaceDayTV. Now, bear in mind, when he watches TV, he's always like, man, he's staring at it.
Yep.
He's just focused on the cars. I go,
Screwed.
oh, it's like, I looked right at my father.
He watched Harmon's in car and he looked at Manny and went, "What a moron!"
Yeah, no, it's funny because I told my dad, I go, if this kid wants a race car, you're buying it.
Yeah, right.
My absolute favorite, because we have fun here. Like
do.
we are
We
all
do.
friends. And people haven't figured out we're all friends. Well, except for Mike, we tolerate Mike. No. We're all friends. Like, and we enjoy what we do. And the best part is, as I'm at the Pure Stock race, we put an in-car in for the first time in Harmon's car. And
I should have warned him about you.
oh no, he knows.
He knows. Yeah.
Everybody knows. So anyways, I'm watching the in-cars playing live. So I have my headset on for my crew. I have an earbud in, and I listen to the one-way because that's how you know what's going on.
Yeah.
Mike gets on. All right, guys, there's 7 of you. We're going to have a good race. Let's see, everybody here's a winner. Let's have fun. Coming out of 3, Harmon high slides the car next to him. Coming to just come to the green. Mike's like, knock that out. The guy on the outside comes around Harmon. Harmon jacks him up in the air, and Mike's on the one way. He's like, it's not even the first lap. What are you doing? And I'm like, I looked at Skeeter, who was next to me, and I was like,
This is great.
This is great.
This is great.
the best day of my life.
No, honestly, and I think this weekend proved to a lot of us that we have a good team.
Yes.
I mean
Well, especially on Sunday, we were on a skeleton crew.
we were
all
weekend.
on a skeleton crew.
So Friday, Michelle came up and helped us with the registration booth because we were down a person. Christy, hope
bad
you
luck.
hope you had a great time on vacation. And then Sunday, Brian Callen was away. It was supposed to be Saturday.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, Mr. Brian.
Yep, happy
and,
anniversary.
And your lovely wife.
Parks came up and joined right up, and it was just very, very cool, and it felt good. And
it was fun.
yeah, this weekend, it's still kind of speechless. We've had a lot of people reaching out and just saying they had a good time, which is really all we strive to do. And a lot of people ask me, like, did you have fun? It's like, no, I was running around like crazy. I didn't even get to see the damn race, but that's really what we were hoping to do. And a lot of people had fun. And I think I'm very proud of the track, and I'm proud of the crew, and proud of myself for that matter. It was just very good.
I'm telling you one thing. I have a lot more respect for the guys that mount tires.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'll tell you right now.
Oh, yeah, great broadcast.
It
I
was-
don't even know
it
who
was-
Mike Rotundo. I don't know who
It
that
was
is.
me
Oh, there we go.
and Tyson doing tires. Now, bear in mind, I'm 285 pounds. He's like 100 pounds soaking wet. So he's running the arm, and I'm putting my weight on the tire. And then I forgot. I know the guy. I keep forgetting his name, but he's been doing tires for 30 years. He's next to us with 2 tire spoons and just bing, 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 bing.
I saw that guy.
And I'm like, Jason, this guy, he's putting us to shame.
I wonder who it was.
It was.
You have a beard?
No,
it
no,
wasn't
he does.
Johnny.
I think he does Derek's tires. I think he does a couple other people's tires. That's all he does is tires.
We got to get his
shorter
number.
guy with glasses.
Told you he was from Seacon.
Yeah. I want to see you come up too.
That's the number 48. I remember him. I know him.
And I'm like, dude, we're getting our asses handed to us. But he's like, yep, 30 years experience doing this.
I'll
Bing,
tell
bing,
you what,
bing.
though.
Like,
I'll tell you what.
crap.
Props to you because you had to mount 33 teams with 8 tires, and you guys got it done. We had, by the way, we did have 2 tire machines.
We found out one of them, the tower part where the arm swings out is too short.
Yeah.
So every time you put the tire on or one of the tires out, you swing it over, you hit the machine and it pushes it out.
Yeah.
So literally we're using the old one that we've had there forever to do it, but it works perfect. So, I mean, I just put my elbow in it. And,
That's one of the things that was on the list of stuff to do the week before. Send the tires machine, get those out. I mean, it's just a lot of work went into
and then
this
come to
past
find
weekend.
out there was one thing that was messed up on it, so we really couldn't use
Right.
it, and we didn't know it until we fired it off, which was weird because when we did it at my shop, we fixed it and it was working fine. We brought it there, and then the what was it? The pressure valve.
Yeah.
Just let go, and it's like, oh, you gotta be kidding me.
But that went pretty smooth. I mean, the tire pick, the tire compound, I mean, everything down there, it was pretty hectic to begin with because everybody was down there. I mean, it was, I didn't expect, you'd think, because we call them by registration order, you'd think the guys in 25th, 26th would give it a couple seconds, but no, they were all there.
They want to
waiting.
watch to make sure.
Yeah.
And I've never done anything this big. You've never done anything
Not
this
even
big.
close.
So
Not
it's
even
like,
close.
So we're all learning, and it's like, okay, I think this is what we do. We've seen it at other tracks do it, so we'll just do it this way.
That's pretty much, pretty much
It
what
was
we did.
Race Day TV's biggest broadcast as well. So
Hell yeah, I didn't know that fact. That's pretty cool.
That is a good one.
And that's true.
Oh, here we got a Seacon guy right here, the Michael Rotundo. So he's saying how he likes our broadcast. Well, good, because we'll be at Open Wheel Wednesday broadcasting it at Seacon. So that will happen this summer. So you'll see us back there. We did the broadcast for him last year, doing it for him again this year.
Yep.
And like I said,
I'm still trying to get the dwarf cars there.
I didn't think I'd ever
Race
say
Day
this.
TV is going to get a lot more stuff coming on.
Justin Harris is right. That was one of the cleanest pro stock races I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that is.
And for $30,000 to win, you'd think
I
they'd
thought that
be
was
destroying
gonna be
each
a
other.
wreck fest.
I think we all did.
You'd never know. I mean, it was one of those things. But to not even have, I don't even
Emily.
think 2 cars. I don't think a fender got crumpled. I don't think there was a dent on anybody's
Except
car.
the one Nate tripped and fell into.
That was great.
Hey. All the power to Nate, though. He kept it going, and literally the camera went down once and shot right back up. I'm like, that's dedication.
Yeah. And
I just said to him on the radio, I'm like, "You okay, buddy?" He's like, "Did you notice that?" I'm like, "I'm pretty sure everybody did." He's like, "Crap."
Big shout out to Nick Cusack for taking the all-in ladder challenge.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Qualified third, and Derek and Jimmy started first and second and denied the challenge. And Nick Cusack, who is a top runner whenever we run our weekly stuff, they brought a beautiful number 2 car.
That was cool.
I love that car.
It's a throwback scheme to his dad, who used to have a Coke car.
Yeah.
And so now the Karen Roofing Coke-themed car thing was badass looking.
that
I
was
mean,
cool.
so nice.
Where did he finish? He finished what, like?
Finished 14th.
So that's half.
So he made it halfway through the field, which means he made an extra $3,000 on top of, I believe, $2,200 to finish the 14th spot.
Yeah.
So pretty good payday for him.
He's walking away with over $5,000 for 14.
And it was cool to just see him He's like, this is for my guys. My guys did a good job to bring a badass race car today, and I want to do it for them. And that was just the whole. And he didn't, like Mark said, it almost seemed like he didn't want to do it. He's like, my guys worked really hard to bring a good car today. And then he's like, we're in. Oh, what'd you do?
I hate you.
I do what I do. It's on your phone, so.
Oh, great.
I hate you so much.
You love it. So let's move right over to. This is what we do all day long.
That's bad.
Let's move over to Friday night. Super Streets were in action. Come to find out, Tristan's not the only one that can drive a car.
No, and that's been evident for a while. Robbie's the hell of a wheelman.
You gotta remember, I don't know a lot of the people from down this way, so I don't get to see Robbie drive
Robbie's
often.
wheelman. He's been out of the seat for a couple of years, but it was good to see him back. And
Robbie's muffler came off his car once, popped my right front tire, and stoved it right into the turn 4 wall. Like, sweet.
He was followed by Donnie Belisle, Patrick Tangway, and Mike Williams. All right, let's get into the Crown Vics, because I'd never get to see these things race in person.
So the Crown
This
Vics,
guy, super fan.
That was a wicked good race.
We didn't have another division on that night, and I watched a video from somewhere of the Crown Vics from, I think, some track in like Wisconsin or something. They had a shit ton of them. And then you had the Freedom Factory that had all those, and I'm like,
Yeah.
You know something? They're starting them up around here. And I kind of just wanted to see him run at Lee because I've never seen that in my
I thought
life.
they were all pretty even.
That was a good race, man. They went out for practice and all stayed on the same straightaway. I was like, that's going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
And they did. I felt bad for Chris Knight. He was leading the race and it got tangled with Jake Michaud. Jake said on his interview, he's like, I don't race like that. I thought he knew I was there, and apparently he didn't. And by the time he could save it, he was way off in the marbles. So, but that was good. And then Jake Michaud and his son Traver, who, I mean,
Which was
Jake,
awesome in Victory
Jake
Lane.
grew up racing at Lee. He started when he was in his teens, and Traver can't race a NASCAR division because he's not of age, but he just turned 13, like I think a week ago, and they went out there and finished first and second. So
That's cool.
That was pretty
That's
damn
wicked cool.
Yeah.
Seeing that in Victory Lane was awesome, too. Followed by Tucker Haskell, Alexander Tangway, Christopher Knight, Sebastian Janowitz, and Ed Johnson.
Yes.
That was a fun race to see. The one thing I liked about it is they're underpowered. So that's
yeah.
they had
Way
to be
underpowered.
they had to carry the momentum
Yep.
all the way around the track, which meant they never let off. Those things were
they were
flying.
They'd pedal it a little bit into one, set it sideways, and just go. It was awesome.
My crew, so we all are on, everyone's wearing radios. My crew's on a separate channel, so we have our own communications, and we were just commenting on this race. We're like, this is awesome. They're like, you got to tell Ben and John to bring these back more often. These things are so cool.
I was walking through the crowd, and there was so many people, like even like Keith Walton and the Ericksons. They're like, we need one of these things. And it's like they just look fun.
You know what? You know how I am. I'd buy a few of them, throw roll cages in them, and just get them out there.
Well, we could. Well, I mean, even do what like Devil's Bowl does, where they'll get a
They buy
Crown Vic,
them,
they cage them, and
they
they
do
raffle
them, and they
off.
sell them or
They
raffle
sell
them.
Well, so you know the funny thing was that this is years ago, but I don't think they're doing it. They were originally going to take the old postal vans,
Yes.
get
Yep.
rid of them, and then I'm like, oh.
Yeah, because they decommissioned. They're like Ford Rangers. Is what they are. I thought.
S10s.
S10s. That's what they are. Yep.
That's what they are underneath?
Yeah, they're
I
S10s.
didn't know
They're
that.
four-cylinder
mini truck.
S10s, and they're like 80,000 miles.
Yep.
That's it. And they run. Man, I'm like, dude, I'll buy like 20 of them.
Sucks we got rid of the ice cream truck.
Oh,
We
yeah.
did, for those who don't know, we got rid of the ice cream truck. It is now the official Town of Lee, New Hampshire ice cream truck presented by Lee Speedway. And I think Tommy said it was New Hampshire Off-Road Outfitters or something like that was the other person getting in touch. But so, we donated that to the town. That's going to be driving around Lee
And
giving
we
out
still
free ice
sell
cream.
ice cream. It's just in the souvenir stand.
Oh, yeah, we sell all the ice cream you could want. And soon to be more, right, Ben?
Oh, yeah. I'm working on that trailer right now.
So I have never had Lee Pizza because it's brand new this year.
It is.
The pizza's a completely different one.
Well, we've had pizza.
Yeah, it's a different
It's
recipe.
a new recipe, which is bomb.
So, of course, I had to do my due diligence and go up and try it. And I'm not even a guy who likes the sausage, but that's all that was ready.
You love the sausage.
I knew you were going to say that. So they had pepperoni and sausage, but it was the only one that was ready, and we're getting ready to start broadcasting in like 7 minutes. And I had to get
Like,
my
I'll take
fat
it.
butt
Yeah.
over to the other side. I'm like, I'll take that. And it was really good.
we sold out.
You want to know how I
I know I asked Ben to go get me another thing of pizza. He's like, sorry, dude.
You know how
They're
I
all
know
gone.
Sold out.
You know it's a good night when we sell pizza because all the freaking trash bags won't come out of the damn barrel.
Yeah.
Pause.
No.
Are we paused?
I
Or
don't think so.
Yeah, I think we're rolling. So, Saturday, I mean, it rained. It is
Yeah.
what it
It
is.
did.
We made the
Yeah,
most
it
of it.
rained.
It did.
Friday night, we still had that little bit of possibility of rain in the
Oh,
air.
my
So,
God. You can honestly, you can contest to this. I was like, we're not gonna get this in.
Yeah.
We're not gonna get this in. I'm doing tires. I'm parking cars. I'm
He's
like,
lollipop guilting around the track.
oh yeah.
and-
I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, dude. The one time I decided to do something really like massive, it rains on me. I'm like, oh my God.
And
this
I'm
is
sa-
every time you
Yeah, I
do
was
because
gonna say,
Kyle
yeah,
Busch
yeah,
last
Kyle
year.
Busch.
You know what the funny thing is? I kind of, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna mount tires. I started mounting tires, and then I would look at the pit road, and I'm like, okay, I see it drying off a little bit, so
Yep.
that's good. But then I just see mist. I'm like, this isn't gonna stop. This is gonna be like all day.
Shout out to Corey Donaldson because I called him at I think 6:30 in the morning while I was on my way back to the racetrack, and I said, "Hey, you up?" And he's like, "No." I'm like, well, I need you up and I need you to start dragging tires. And he was out there for like 6 hours. I think he put like 300 miles on his truck.
I was sleeping. 'Cause my truck, if you guys don't know, my truck has that big thing on top of it. I mean, everybody here knows this is a camper.
Yeah.
So it pops up. I am sleeping next to my trailer, and I hear flap, 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 because it's right where he was going into turn one, and the tires were ripping apart and flapping the track. I'm like, I don't know what this was.
Yeah.
So I open it up. I look out my window. I was like, oh, they're drying the track.
Yeah.
I get it. Because this is the worst part about this right here. I look at my phone. My phone said 0.0%
And it's raining.
chance of rain.
It's raining.
And I look at the satellite, and there's nothing on the satellite. I open the front of my tent, and it's Sunday morning, and it's raining.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is going on
I kept
here?
lying to Ben to his face. I'm like, it's fog. It's
Oh,
fine.
yeah, trust me. And I know you're lying to me. And I'm like, whatever, man. I know he's trying to cheer me up. I'm just like, dude, this.
So I get out of my tent on Saturday, and I come out. I find John. I'm like, where's Ben? He's like, he's mounting tires. I'm like, well, I ain't going down there for like 3 hours.
No.
You mean Sunday?
Sunday, yeah.
Saturday.
Sunday, I go down. He's like, mounted tires. I'm like, I'm not going down there for a while.
We had no amount of tires. I go, well, I got to do what I got to do.
Yeah. Jeff Rice commented, I want to say a big shout. Jeff and Michelle Rice, they're awesome people. They support short track in the middle of 100 things and pulled out a stack of cash and put some sponsorship towards the New England Dwarf Cars this
awesome.
past weekend. He just pulled out. He's like, put 100 towards the winner and 50 towards fifth and 40 towards last. And he just shook my hand and walked away with a smile and told me to have a good day. Jeff, big thank you to you for all you do for short track racing. Great guy. Thank you very much.
While we're talking about people who support short track racing and products that support short track racing, since they're in not as much demand anymore, this guy's right here, Speedway Illustrated, Carl Fredrickson, the entire team, they are absolutely phenomenal. I will be at Claremont Motorsports Park this Friday and this Sunday. I will have 5 free copies of this month's new magazine with me to give away. Come back to my trailer.
Monday too, right?
Well, I have them. I'm going to get to that, Ben.
Okay, all right,
I'll have 5 copies at Claremont to give away at my trailer on Friday, Sunday. I am going to have 5 copies at Hudson to give away on Monday as well, because we unfortunately do our best to schedule, but there's some races that overlap. So RaceDayTV on Sunday will be in Claremont for the big Granite State race. So we will not be at the Sunday Fun Day, but we will be at Monday Fun Day, which is going to be a great race as well. So I will have these right here. And if you guys are on the fence on getting Speedway Illustrated, it's full of articles that have everything to do with our passion that we love, short track racing. And I will have 5 copies each day for you guys to give away. And thank you to Carl, who's doing this now monthly. So, and I would like to give these to some people as well. Let's top off these Friday night results. Nell Car Legends, we had Cole Roby, followed by PJ Evans and Reagan Parent.
A good race.
Yep.
That was it. They always put on a good race.
Yeah, they do.
I always like watching the Bandoleros too, because you know they're kids.
Well, especially at Lee, where they put them on the gear roll, they're like drafting at
It was
Talladega.
nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Those things are flying. You wouldn't catch me in one of those things. Like if I was a kid, I'd be like, yeah, I know. You had Brody Wakefield, followed by Nicholas Urig and Bronson Robideau. The Star Tours, the sportsman feature, we had Mark Parmenter, John McCarthy, and Bob Guyon.
You are nailing this.
I don't think I am.
Keep going.
Star Tour Modifieds, Skip Squinak, Jocelyn LaLiberty, and John Jalbert. I know that one.
Killed it.
I have another show that we do weekly, and we don't research names, so we kill them every single week. It's just what we do. Sorry. It's a lot to keep up on. Moving over to Sunday, which was absolutely awesome. We started the feature for the New England Dwarf Cars with 20 cars out there, and none other than Top Gun Tom Harwood.
Yeah, of course. Right.
Finishes off where he started last season.
Oh, yeah.
Which was awesome to see. That car flies.
Yeah.
The 31 of Cody Hodgson, followed by Ryan Carmen. The Oh No of Chris Sullivan and Kenny Scott Jr. Got to give a huge shout out to Cupcake. Cupcake took a very, very big hit coming out of 3. Mm-hmm. We do have the replay. We did not show the replay. I gave it to her, and I told her if she would like it posted, she can post it because she got hurt. She has posted it, so if you're interested in seeing it, it's over on her page. she had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
The car stacked up in front of her. Rodman lost a radiator as well, lost the whole right front assembly off the car, which really stinks. I literally was just talking to him, and he's like, car feels really great. It's the best it's ever been. I'm really, really excited.
Pretty good, too.
Car was moving, and it's my favorite looking. I love that color, that bright yellow.
Yeah.
I just absolutely love it. Got my I got my shirt from him this weekend, my Rodman shirt, got my sticker, so I love that.
Did you touch his car?
I did not.
Okay,
I actually
all
did
right.
not touch his car.
Because
You know, I did actually. I did touch Derek, and Derek finished third. So
Why would you touch that car?
he drove by me and it brushed my leg.
Yeah,
It's not
okay.
my
He was
fault.
trying to run you over.
yeah, kill the curse. Kill the curse.
Hey, that curse is long gone. Hey, Harmon's car was hitting the wall, whether I put a camera in it or not. The cool thing, though, that it happens, a lot of people did comment that people in the stands don't realize what's really going on. If you want to see, it's online, guys. That whole wreck was there, and you get to see, you see the car brake, and then all of a sudden he starts going straight, and you see him crank it all the way to the left, and the car just immediately shoots up into the wall. He got that thing woed down pretty quick because he was flying, and if he would have hit that full head on,
That thing would have been bent.
isn't that right around where Brusso hit the wall last
Yeah.
year with the Super Street? That's
Yeah.
not a good place to hit.
No.
I told Brusso every time I go over there when it's quiet, I can still hear it whine.
I bet he loves that. Moving on to the Ridge Runners, Heath DeButts, followed by Richie Morocco, second place. Dude,
Hell of a run.
awesome.
Yeah.
Such a nice
He
dude.
was loving every second of it.
Followed by Dan Caswell, Brad Wiseman, and the 59 of, who is this? Kelly Uborn?
Yeah, that's good.
Kelly Bourne.
Kaylee. It's Kaylee.
It's Jason Bourne.
Giggles. Giggles. Oh, it's Giggles McGee. Oh, it's Callie Osborne. Oh, I'm sorry. I messed that up. She's going to hate me now.
Yeah, like she
The
did already.
six shooters, I cannot believe somebody, and this is going to segue me into something else here I'm going to talk about after. Erin Aiken, she is on an absolute tear this year.
Well, didn't she drive that car from North Carolina?
They went and bought that car, Dave did, and drove it home, and they immediately gutted it and then had the thing ready in 2 weeks. It's so funny because in Victory Lane, Randy's like, all the hard work that goes in this thing all off season. She's like, yeah, not this car. We bought this 2 weeks ago. We had Dave just like welded a cage in it and got it to go. That thing is flying, and she is on I think she's on 8 wins in a row, 7 wins in a row,
Six
for
for
six. All right, I knew it was pretty close to that. Followed by Michael Yetton, Steve Miller Jr., and Robert Guptill. All right, this next race. This was probably my. I have a new racer that is now I'm a fan of, and it was all because of this Open Pure Stock race. We had Cody Hodge followed by Sean Nadeau and the 21 of Mackenzie Belial, who is now I'm your biggest fan now. I gotta be honest with you. That Victory Lane, people that don't know, I am a girl dad. I have 2 girls. I have girl grandkids. I have a grandson too, but I grew up raising girls. To see them out there and the support I love, and seeing her in Victory Lane, and when the mic got put in front of her house, she's like, how did this feel to you? She's like, honestly, I was shitting my pants. She goes, I am so excited. This is the best day of my life. I got to thank my dad. My dad is my world. It's so great. And in my head, I was like, wow, that could be my kid if she liked racing. That would have been so cool. But to just see that, I don't think she's very old. What is she, early 20s if she is?
Yeah.
And the love for racing, and that right there, a 3rd place finish right off the bat at Lee in the Open Pure Stocks brand new division. I was super, super excited to see that. And I hope she has a lot more of them coming up.
Tough break for Grenier and Dave Smith.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about that. So, unfortunately, Dave, his previous race at Claremont, took home the win. And it was absolutely great to see because Dave's an old mod guy. He raced when I was a kid. He lost his wife. He lost his father this year. To see him get that victory after taking so many years off at Claremont. And Dave's such a nice guy.
Yeah, he is.
He's so great. He's got internal nicknames. He's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I
He's
love
part
Dave.
of the group. Yeah.
He's part of us.
Definitely.
So to see him go from the highest of highs at Claremont and taking home that victory, followed by Carlos right behind him, who is also, Carlos is great too, to this week right here coming, and I'm smiling and I'm not trying to because it's horrible. Carlos blew a motor coming to the green, and it pretty much launched at the start-finish line. Car didn't go. Dave went, loaded up, and got into the back of Carlos, and the car behind him had nowhere to go. Yeah. It happened in all of maybe 0.6 of a second.
Yeah,
like, it was ridiculous. And Dave's car hit the wall hard, and the rear axle is not quite facing that way.
No.
The front to back measurement, if you look at the axles on, let's just make up numbers. On the passenger side, it's 10 feet. On the driver's side, it's like 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's way up there. I was like, oh, I felt bad. I actually walked over to him because my trailer's parked over there, and I was like, I'm sorry, Dave. This sucks. He's like, this is horrible. He just looks down and looks away, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm bumming. One of the things that I want to, in this, I don't really talk about lots of stuff that aggravates me very often. So Shane Bailey recently posted, because it was Melissa Fifield's 150 start on the NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour. And if you're not aware, she's a driver. She drives the 01. She races their 150 races in a row. She never misses anything. She supports everything that the NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour does. And I'm sorry she's not Ron Silk. I'm sorry she doesn't finish up front every week, but she's there, and she loves the sport. And to see the hate that she gets is really aggravating to me, especially since this is a sport that, I mean, they're not making, what am I?
What are you laughing
I'm aggravated. So, and
Nothing. I'm not laughing.
so to see the
Jimmy
hate,
is smirking.
the hate that she gets in a sport that, like, let's be honest, we have about 1% of the population of racers that we had 30 years ago. So let's go ahead and pick on somebody and make them uncomfortable and not want to come. And
You know what?
all she does is show up every week.
The haters are going to hate no matter what. And trust me, we know we've seen a bunch.
We have them.
Yeah, we have them. So you know what? Honestly, honestly, I'm glad she sticks through it and makes sure she still goes on. And honestly, don't listen to those jackasses, because half the time they're at home and they're not doing anything, or their car's sitting up on jack stands and they can't figure it out.
As racers and race fans, people, we can do better. We really can. If you don't think she's fast, volunteer. Ask her, do you need some help? Do you need pit crew members? Like, everyone is so quick to bitch, whine, and complain, but nobody actually helps. Nobody will actually come and say, like, hey, I have an idea that might help you make it. And that goes for racetracks. That goes for anything. And one of the things that aggravates me is I'm affiliated with these 3 racetracks. And then you get the other people like, hey, you see what's going on at these other places?
No, don't care.
I'm not commenting on any other racetrack, because I love short track racing. I love racing at every track. And to see people that just like to do that dividing line, they're not building new racetracks, people. Like, they're not. Like, they're tearing these things
going
down.
away. Because what people don't understand is that the reason why the tracks go away is because the property value is just so high, because houses are moving in, commercial properties moving in, and you know what? One day, I mean, we're fortunate here in New Hampshire. There's 9 tracks?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Within like at least 2 hours of each other.
Yeah, we're real lucky.
So
people
we're
down
lucky.
south have to drive 2.5 hours to their home track.
Yeah, so. You know what? Enjoy it while it lasts, because you never know. Because they're not, like you said.
The government's not making racing easy.
No, the government's not making racing easy.
Help me out real quick. The rep from Maine, Austin, Ontario. He kind of filled us in on a lot of the stuff that's going on, and it's horrible.
But it's not just racing. Like we were just talking about it 20 minutes ago.
It's performance.
But even outside of that, the union leader in New Hampshire just posted that the New Hampshire Bank of Pavilion is getting a lawsuit on him because of excessive noise from a guy that moved in next door in 2017.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah. No,
I would love to live next to there and listen to free concerts all summer long.
It'd be like me moving in with you and then being like, Mark lives here.
He smells.
Well, look at Hudson. Well, I love Hudson. I'm going to do everything I can to keep it going. They're building 15 brand new houses for $1.4 million. I hate to say it.
You could throw something from the track to
You could throw something from the track to that, and one day it might happen where the town just goes, sorry,
look at what
can't have you on.
Garrett's dealing with their Freedom Factory right now. Freedom
Bulldozers.
Factory's dealing with this same thing down there.
Yeah, and trust me, Freedom Factory makes a lot more money than these tracks do, and it's happening to them. So it's not just the real small guys or the real big guys. It's happening to everybody.
Before we move on, I just want to, while we're still on those pure stocks somewhat, I want to give a big shout out to the kid that drove the 7 Connecticut,
Yes.
James Trask. That kid, I'm sitting there out front. We had just called the race on Saturday, and here comes this 97 step side chugging along with an open trailer. I think it was a U-Haul open trailer with an Integra on it, and this kid came out, and he's just like, where do I check in? I'm like, oh, man, we postponed it. And he's like, I just drove all the way from Connecticut. And that's when we decided that we'll just give free camping and to just let everybody, make their drive down that they were making anyways. And I drove by later on that day, and he set up a little tent and stayed in that damn campground for over 24 hours just so we could race on Sunday. And unfortunately, the motor ate itself in practice. But I just want to say that is a true racer.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of guys can just go home or go
100%.
grab a motel. That kid plopped his ass in the wet grass on a tiny tent that wouldn't even fit half of me and sat there through a rainstorm. So shout out to James Trask.
Yeah, it was
pouring.
Yeah.
It was pouring, all right.
That was awesome to see. So let's talk about real quick the people that didn't understand the Pro Stock Nationals.
Yeah.
So we did time trials for that, and we had Derek Griffith put down 14.561.
Which I believe I really don't have the capabilities to go back, but I was talking to a bunch of people that have been at Lee for a long time, and we believe that the qualifying time was a new track record. Believe. Because we think it was a 14.6 was the old track record. So.
Oh, wow. Yeah, well, that's right where Renfrew was. So we took how many?
We took 20 out of time trials, 6 out of the Consi, and 2 provisionals.
2 provisionals.
Yep.
And where did our winner come from?
Our winner he won the Consi, started 21st on the field.
That is awesome. I love in his interview, he's like, I took Ben's Back of the Pack Challenge for free.
Yeah. and Joey's right. I mean, it's Joey's always fast at Lee, but it just seems like they can never qualify that great, and they always end up coming from the back of the pack, which unfortunately it's for Joey, but it's great for the fans because he always ends up putting on a show on the way up, and that was a hell of a show.
You know who else put on a show? The 2. Nick Cusack.
Yep.
Took the Back of the Pack ladder challenge and the all-in ladder challenge, and he made his way all the way back up to 14th, I believe.
Halfway.
Yep.
Which for Mr. Ben Bazowski grabbed an extra $2,000 out of his pocket.
3.
3. Well, wanting to start, but an extra 2 because he finished 14th. If he finished 15th, it would have just been the 1.
Even if he accepted, he got a grand.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
So before, and the way those used to work is you took it. If you won, you got it. So that's why we made it progressive to make it so it was interesting.
You can get a little bit more at least. The harder you try, you got to kind of stay in it all day.
Well, that, and you got to remember, too, these guys, they work their butt off. They get up to the top 3 or whatever, and they decide to take it. Okay, well, I just lost a chance of winning 30 grand or even 12 or 8. Well, you got there, and you actually wind up winning 52. Was it 5,200?
Yeah, you won $5,200.
$5,200.
Which in that spot originally paid
20,
just over
2,200
$2,200. So yeah, it was a good day for them in that team.
So real quick, I just want to point something out where people, you took the, the top 20 and this and that. I'm going to give you the times from 17th back. These are the people, because 20 was your bubble position.
Mm-hmm.
We have right here 14.746. Followed by 14.750, 14.751, 14.771, 14.778. These cars were like this far off of each other. Like these guys put on a
the
show.
Top 12 were within a tenth of each other.
Yeah.
The last car was a 15.293, which
and that's
is
from a guy that's never seen that track.
Yeah.
And I'll give a big shout out to that team, the one team. They both drove all the way out from Pennsylvania, Brian Sones and Dennis Wenner.
wow.
Yeah, and I think it was a last minute decision. They posted it last minute on their on their thing. They were just going to come down, and Brian Sones neither of them made the race. They both went through the Consi, and we ended up giving Brian Sones the long haul award, Sandy Valley, Pennsylvania. All the way to Lee, New Hampshire.
That's insane.
We had people in the beer garden from South Carolina. I didn't find that out until the broadcast.
Really?
Yeah, they shot it over, and
serious?
Brad Saucier was interviewing people in the beer garden. Guy from South Carolina,
Which is super cool.
Yeah.
I did like that. Shout out to Charlie for that. That's something he worked up on his
Yeah.
own way.
Charlie.
So a
Brad,
little
that was a good
inside
job.
behind the scenes. You guys can go and listen to the Black Flag podcast. Our friends over there. He didn't send it to Brad. Brad sat at his camper. That kid from South Carolina, or wherever he came from, I believe it was South Carolina, came up with them to see the race. So the night before, Charlie's like, I have this idea, and they did a mock interview at his camper, and Charlie played it through his phone like this. So everybody's listening to Brad, and Brad's sitting there with a beer at the beer garden doing nothing.
Oh, are you serious?
It's funny, though. You know what? It worked.
Hey, I didn't know.
Yeah.
It worked.
I didn't
It
know
worked
either.
out. And props to Charlie and Brad and all them for putting that together, because it was just added to the little bit of fun that we were all
See, I
having.
knew where the Black Flag camper was.
People from Canada. There was an amazing amount of people from Canada. And there was one guy, and I wish I knew his name. I'll get his name. He's there at every Lee event with his little Nissan Frontier and his
Really?
pop-up. Every Lee event. And these guys come down over the border, and they love it.
I got a good one for you. So I was in registration, in ticket window with John, and we were hanging out on Thursday night, getting campers checked in and stuff like that. And I look up, and I was like, John, look at this idiot coming in with this camper that was leaned down
Dave Cameron?
like this, and all of a sudden Dave Cameron jumps out. I was like,
Yeah.
no, I know how to hook up your camper. And he's like, actually gets better fuel mileage this way.
It was so bad.
That thing almost rolled over coming because he took the right turn into Lee at like 77 miles an hour. I was like, what is going on?
Well, I think it was the next day. The next day, Kyle Huntoon, I think it was, came up to me and he's like, hey, who drives that blue Dodge with the enclosed on? I'm like, oh, it's Dave Cameron. He's like, he just locked him up out front. It almost missed it.
It's not like the track entrance sneaks up on you coming from that direction. You see the empty field with the gate across it.
Yeah, but if you're not
like,
paying attention,
you kind of know.
Oh my
you're
god.
too busy looking for the nudist colony.
What's that big sign? It's gone now. Because I always used to tell
fell.
people,
It fell.
find
fell.
the nude sign, and it's right after,
It
but
fell.
it's not. Let's go ahead and real quick and do the hard chargers, which you guys don't have these on here.
Thanks.
Adam Bousquet, plus 11. It was the Dwarf cars, followed by Ryan Carmen and Joe Akers with a 9 and an 8, and Cody Hodgkins with an 8 as well. Moving on to the Crown Vics, Tucker Haskell with a plus 2, followed by Trevor Machad with a plus 1. I love doing these. These are just fun to do. 6 shooters, Michael Yetten with a plus 2, tied with Aaron Aiken with a plus 2. Open pure stocks, my favorite racer, Mackenzie Belial with a plus 4, followed by Sean Nadeau with a plus 3, and Cody Hodge with a plus 1. This one right here, I want to see this posted on his Facebook page later because I've seen everything else that happened on here. Your Ridge Runner winner, Richie Morocco,
Hard
with
Charger.
a plus
Yeah.
5. Well, I'm saying the winner of the Hard Charger with a plus 5, followed by Jess Coulter. Who's that? Plus 3 with her, and Heat the Butts with a plus 2. Moving over. Oh, that's the page I just did. Am I at the end?
I think you're at the
Maybe.
end.
Nope, right here. One more. Pro stocks.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no doubt who the Hard Charge winner.
Joey Dwyer and had to have been.
Pro
Had
stocks
to
was-
have
Oh, yeah,
been.
it's definitely Joey.
Joey Dwyer with a plus 20 right there. That is awesome. Followed by Corey Bubar with a plus 15, Joey Pohl with a plus 14, and Eddie Mack with a plus 13.
It was real funny to see this weekend too. It's 30 grand on the line, and all these big teams are coming in. You'd think a lot of these guys would be kind of cold-shouldered and really have their game faces on. All of these pro stock teams were so nice and upbeat and having a good time.
Yeah.
It was very kind of refreshing to see. I mean, and the guys, from Eddie McDonald, new guys that I was meeting, like TJ Watson and Kevin Douglas and all these guys, just phenomenal people. It just seemed like everybody was having a good time. It's
I
just,
try not to bug them because they're in the mode. So, like, I'm sitting there, and, like, all of a sudden Derek is just, like, walks up beside me. He's like, hey, how was your night's sleep in the camper? I was like, it's actually pretty good because Derek has the same exact setup that I have because Derek is the one who installed it on my truck. And he's like, yeah, it's usually good for a day or two for me, but pretty uncomfortable at day 3. And I was like, yeah, I'm on day 3 right now, and I almost fell out of it at 4:45 this morning because it is way up there. And I was like, I'm surprised you're talking about this right now when you're preparing for a race. He's like, whatever.
yeah, exactly.
I'm like, yeah, but I would be weird if somebody came up and started doing that to me.
No, most everybody was just it was a very not weird vibe, but it was a very big race, but people kind of just showed up like it was a Friday night action type thing and just raced, and it was very weird, but it was very cool. And again, no cautions, which was again very
Yeah, that
weird,
was-
but very cool.
Yeah.
The tow guys must have loved that.
Oh, yeah.
They just hung out and watched the race, which was super, super awesome. Well, we have 4 events coming up this coming weekend. We have Claremont Motorsports Park on Friday, NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Racing Series. In action are the Ace Tex Tire and Auto Sportsman Modifieds, the Outlaws, the R.E. Hinckley Super Streets, the Ridge Runners, the the Avery Insurance 6-shooters, the LaValle Building Supplies Pure Stocks. Guys, on Friday, pits open at 3:30 p.m., grandstands at 5, hot laps at 5. Racing starts at 7, $15, $5 for kids. I mean, it's a great night of action over there. And if you cannot attend, RaceDayTV has you covered for that event. Claremont Motorsports Park is also back into action on Sunday. Key Auto Group presents the Granite State Pro Stock Series, 125 laps, $5,000 to win with an R&R Street Stocks. 5,000 wins a lot until you just had a Pro Stock race.
Sorry,
Ben
Parks.
was 30,000 to win. The R&R Open Streets are going to be there. The Avery Insurance 6-shooters are there for $250 to win. LaValle Building Supply Pure Stocks, $250 to win. Pits open at 1 p.m. Grandstands at 3, hot laps at 3. Racing starts at 6 p.m. $20 for adults, $5 for kids. RaceDayTV will be broadcasting that event as well. Sunday Fun Day, Open Mini Stocks, Hudson, New Hampshire, guys. Going to be our first Sunday Fun Day of the season. Pits open at 10 a.m., grandstands at 11, hot laps at noon. Racing kicks off at 1:15 p.m. Let me tell you what we got on action for this. 101 drags, spectator drags, Hudson Hippos. We have Pro V8s, Mini Cups, Open Mini Stocks, a 4, 6, and 8-cylinder Enduro, and the Hudson Hornets are in action. Sorry to tell you, you want to watch this action, guys? You got to be there. No Race Day TV for this event. We are at Claremont Motorsports Park. So if you want to see some fun and excitement, get yourself to Hudson on Sunday.
Are we doing the flagpole?
Probably could. Well, you know what? No, because remember we have the big race.
Jersey, yeah.
We have the big race
The next day.
The what?
On Monday,
No.
On Monday, we have the Choppy Baldwin Memorial 100 Lap Sports and Modified event. Also in action are the Super Streets, the Ridge Runners, 6-shooters, and Pure Stocks. Kickoff, pits open at 10 a.m., gates at 11, hot laps at noon, kicking off racing at 1:15. It's $15, guys. Hudson is $15.
Yeah, and that
both days.
was probably the best. The Choppy Baldwin was probably the best show at Hudson last year.
A lot of people talking about making the trek over. I think I heard Roby saying he was making his way over as well.
As he should.
You should see the trophy that Dickie's making too. It's pretty badass.
And he doesn't run many crate races anymore, so if he's showing up for this one, this is gonna be an event to see, guys. People from Canada, I wish I would have seen them.
There was a lot of people from
Yeah, a
Canada.
lot of people from Canada.
That event, John, congratulations. Seriously, Ben, congratulations.
Thank you.
You guys absolutely knocked it out of the park with this
It
event.
wasn't just us. It was.
No, there's a lot of people behind.
It was mostly us, but but a lot of people
lot
in
of people
our
helped.
hard-working crew really put that show together and backed us up in putting that together. So
Yeah.
thank you to all of you.
Absolutely. Throughout the week, too, you guys shouted out some people that were helping out during the week. Can't forget Ryan Lawless. Lawless was
That's
there
right.
with,
Lawless was
with
there.
a weed trimmer and any other thing you asked him to do.
Everything.
And I was like, wow, that dude is hustling. Emily's going to be at Hudson on Monday. It was a fun weekend. I think a lot of us are a little happy that it's over because I know we were stressing about this for about 6 months.
Oh my God.
Erickson was joyriding around Lee with a lady from Canada. That's awesome. I will find that on the cameras.
Not on at all. Not one bit.
So the funny thing is that this whole race, when I mentioned to John what I wanted to do, he's like, "You're kind of an idiot, but okay, we'll do it." And then it didn't really hit me. I'm like, "Yeah, it'll be cool. We'll do this. I got a sponsor and all that shit." And then right when it came down to Friday, I'm like, okay, I hope I made the right decision on this because man, this is more than I've ever done before. And then Saturday rained out. I go, you got to be kidding me.
I've said it to a bunch of people like throughout the last 6 months. They're like, you seem stressed. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, my boss kind of went, I want to have $110,000+ friggin' race. Here you go, figure it out. We did, though, man. We got it
You
done.
and me were stressing out, and I'm like, yeah, we can only do what we can, but it's just like, holy crap, man. That was good. I'll admit that was fun to do.
It was. That's what I said. I was like, listen, dude, we got till 10 o'clock tonight. Whether it rains or not, whatever happens between now and then is going to happen. So we might as well just freaking do it. And it worked. And
general consensus of the crowd was pretty good as well.
Yeah.
It was great to see those stands at Lee full again.
Yeah.
It was absolutely great to see. And like I said, guys, Beach Ridge Motor Speedway night at the races is Lee USA Speedway's next event.
I'm excited to see
June
kind of how
7th.
that's going to go. I mean, that was late on the schedule. Something that just kind of I thought of and wanted to put on. Didn't want to wait another year. And it's
one of the most socially engaged posts that we've had.
I think it is the most.
It's just
honestly.
absolutely crazy.
And it got a massive amount of traction. The only post I know of that got more shares than likes on the damn thing. They got like 700 shares or something like that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It got shared around. So we're hoping that a lot of people come out for that, and really hoping pretty much the entire state of Maine comes down to have a good night that night.
It really stinks to see that Beach Ridge has now officially been bought, and it's going to be, what, a FedEx facility or something like that, or one of those.
Something useless to me.
Yeah, something who
To
cares.
let you guys all know, you have all of ours official invitation to come down and relive your Beach Ridge Motor Speedway nights at Lee USA Speedway. We would absolutely be happy to have you there.
Renaming all the divisions. We'll have, white knuckle nuggets and super burgers and yellow flag burgers up
I
on
never
the
got to
concession
go,
stand.
so I don't know any of the stuff, so I'm excited.
Our regular divisions
So
will be called
our regular divisions
Mad
Roadrunners.
Bombers.
The Pro Series will be on tap that night. The Pro Stocks double features, so that'll be a good time. And and then just to see some of the old faces that were at Beach Ridge, like the old ticket taker is going to be taking tickets, and
that's awesome.
Nicole Timmons, Bobby's sister, is going to be in the Turn 5 Tavern, which will be called that night, the old beer garden at Beach Ridge, and it should just be very fun, And it's really nothing over the top that we have to do. It's just something that we were able to do.
We need to find the tracker, the speedy tracker there.
I'm sure it's for sale somewhere.
Well, I don't know if it's for sale, but even whoever owns it, if you're watching, they want to come down and pace with it. That'd be cool.
Oh, and what else will we have there, Ben, that night?
Oh yeah, and I actually bought the old wrecker from Beach Ridge. It's actually at Claremont right now. But we're gonna bring that down. It'll be parked probably in the infield.
And we're going to have the old Beach Ridge hot dog steamer with red snappers in that thing ready to go. Andrew Harmon had it.
Really?
Yeah. Yes. Andrew's like, you can have it that night. He's like, it's clean. I use it all the time. I'm like, I am absolutely.
I used to have one of those.
Well, that's what they used to do. They had the hot dog steamers with red snappers full, and so that should be a hell of a night. I'm excited for that.
And Peter Raby, you are welcome. He said, thank you for letting us set up. It was amazing.
That was awesome.
You guys get to see what one of the booths looked like that you could rent right there all season long at the USA Speedway.
Yeah, we had them set up. We had the New England Dwarf Car Series set up, and I know they were both selling their merchandise.
So explain this to me real quick, because you get a racer that maybe doesn't have the money to get their merch tent, all this stuff. What John has actually done here is you can actually rent the pop-up, the table, the chairs, and have power there relatively cheap.
Yeah, so if you're a racer that races with us and you want to sell your merchandise, come see me. It's $25. You get a 10x10 pop-up with a 6-foot table and a spot to plug in if you want to put whatever it might be, string lights or a TV or something like that, a tablet, anything you really need. And then for outside vendors or race teams like 603, we charge, it's $100 and that covers everything. I mean, so it's a pretty good deal, I think. And it really, what we're getting out of it is not the couple dollars you pay to do it. That's just really just in case something happens to the stuff. But we get these people that are coming to our facilities more engaged with the people.
All right, so here's a question for Peter. Peter bought a booth this week. He had a whole bunch of merch set up for sale. He had his cars there,
free tickets to Hudson and all that good stuff.
Every time I snuck over to steal food, every time I went over to buy food, I come out and you literally looked across at the 603. I'm curious as how that went for him. Like, I'm super excited to see, because his booth every time I came out was packed.
Yep.
Like, that is a really fun idea that you had. Because Mike sold us on this last year. He
Oh.
kept trying to tell us, and he's like, "This is the way you got to do it." None of us really understood it until we went down to Florida.
And they drank. I had got a call from TD about an hour later, like, some asshole's buying a whole bunch of stuff on your card in Florida. And I'm like, yeah, it's me. You're good.
This is how cool it is when you have this stuff set up. So we watched probably one of the coolest finishes happen with this guy bounced off a car, bounced off the wall,
Peter
and then
Rady
came
sold
through.
out of sweatshirts. Look at
Sold
that,
out of
buddy.
sweatshirts
Look
right
at
there.
that. Awesome.
John immediately looked down, saw who the driver was, and took off and ran to the guy's merch
Lightning
tent.
Larry White. I still remember his name.
Yeah.
Never heard of him. Never seen him since.
And attempted to buy a shirt, but you couldn't because he didn't have anything set up.
I could buy him online, but I still haven't.
Yep.
And that's the difference, people. I'm teling you.
If it's right in front
It's
of you,
right there.
Well,
I would
I
pay
mean-
for it.
Look, I would never buy this. I still didn't
still
buy
didn't
this.
buy it.
yeah, Mark said, I like that hat. I go, all right, fine, hold on.
That's not
That's
quite how that
not even
happened.
close
Not
to
at
what
all.
happened.
Nope.
Well, if you shut up about it, well, I'll buy it for you. And you're like,
I literally
okay.
just pointed. I was like, I like the green on that hat. He's like, what?
I'm like, then buy it. He's like, I'm not buying it. I go,
Spend my. I
Hey,
am the
lady, how much
cheapest
to
guy.
shut this guy up?
I'm the cheapest guy. When it comes to stuff like that, I'm the cheapest guy in the world. One of the things that I do, and I don't ask a lot of racers, if you guys have your stickers, I have decided that I want to set up a sticker board on the Race Day trailer. So if you have your team stickers, get them to me, and I will put them on the board. And hopefully by the end of the season, we will have a bunch of them up there. And what I would like to do is have you also sign it, and at the end of the year, maybe raffle it off for a
Yeah.
good cause.
Yeah.
That would be something I think that would be really, really cool. If you guys are interested, reach out to me. If you don't know my email, it's mark@racedaynh.com, or just send me a Facebook message. It's what everybody else does.
Did you try the curvy ass chicken tenders?
I did not. Now, please tell this story before we go, because we're wrapping up.
So we have a whole bunch of new stuff at the concession stand this year at Lee. Seafood, fish sandwiches, cotton candy, whole bunch of good stuff. Fried Oreos, all
So
the good
mad I
stuff.
didn't get
Mozzarella
any cotton
sticks.
candy.
And it was good. Carlos Grenier walks up out of nowhere with like a stick, and he's like, You want to try it? And I'm like, no. And Granny's like, I'll take it. He's like, you don't need that. But yeah, so a whole bunch of new stuff. And I was listening again to our friends, Charlie, Brad, and Bobby over on the Black Flag podcast. And I'm reading the title of the show. It's called Curvy Ass Chicken Tenders. And I'm like, man, I didn't think our food was bad or anything. Maybe I'll check it out. I'm listening. And we also introduced our walkthrough concession, which killed
awesome.
it.
Yeah.
Killed it. I mean, that was awesome. I didn't hear a single complaint about that, and I know I wasn't complaining about it. I was in and out every time. But so apparently Brad and a friend of his went up, and he's like, I grabbed a fried substance that was in a container, and I grabbed an onion ring, and I keep going, and the lady goes, all right, we have... Nice shirt, Ben.
no problem.
So I guess Granny was like, all right, you have an onion ring and fried shrimp. And they both just stopped talking and looked at each other. And he goes, and I looked down and I was like, those are some curvy-ass chicken tenders. I didn't have them, but Brad Saucier said they're approved. So we'll go with his word.
I haven't had a chance to listen to their podcast yet, but apparently Charlie had maybe threw me under the bus with something that I had said. I want to make sure.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that everybody
qualifying draw.
that everybody else knows that there was another sentence to that whole thing that went. I knew what was going on, except now that it's raining, I don't know what's happening. So we probably should ask John. It wasn't Mark being like, oh, I don't know anything. That's not how that actually happened. I said I was running around with my head cut off trying to get bags off of cameras and make sure nothing got destroyed. And I had no clue what time the qualifying draw was happening at that point, or if it was being televised.
No, I guess it wasn't the qualifying draw. It was the day before the drivers' meeting before practice. That was probably the most terrifying part of the whole weekend. Yeah. Because you don't think there's that many. Yeah, there's 33 pro stocks. You call the drivers' meeting, they all bring 10 people. Yeah. And I was staring at you, and I'm like, yeah, so we're going to race about tomorrow, I think.
I love, so there's some of the fun stuff that happens behind the scene. So John went to grab, if anybody that's in the pits, I want to let you guys know that every single item to upgrade the pit PA has now arrived, and that will be done for Beach Ridge Night. Yeah. Brand new, all new speakers, all new microphones, all new amps.
We will have new lights at some point.
You'll see them along the backstretch. Well, in the middle, it used to be like a TV tower, almost like a radio tower or whatever.
Yeah, it was like an oil drilling tower.
Which is now gone, and Ben has installed new poles, and there's going to be new lighting on it. And there's two other poles that had lights that just wouldn't work. So John had to go and grab light towers.
Yeah, towable towers.
Which is no easy task.
No.
They park one in front of the old tower because it's a great spot, because that's great. Then all of a sudden I happen to look over and I called Ben. I'm like, hey, look to the light tower. And he looks, I'm like, the lights are on now. So Ben had went and started flipping switches and found out how to turn the lights on.
Ben's
And I'm like,
button mashing.
I'm like, maybe move the light, maybe move that light tower over now, because that one is now blocking the lights coming from the lights. It was a great day. We learned a lot. We had a lot of fun.
Oh God, yeah.
A lot more respect for every single person that came up to that track. The ones who stayed strong and said, we're going to still stay here and race on Sunday.
Yep.
We're going to make do. And one of the best things I heard out of Victory Lane, other than the guy that I've never seen calling out how cool RaceDayTV was because he watched it the night before, which was awesome, was in the Pro Stock Victory Lane that said, if there's not 70 cars here next year, you guys are dumb.
Yeah.
Like, this race was well run. It was fun. And that's a wrap on it. Like, it was great. I mean, congratulations to everybody that came out, supported the racetrack. Thank you to each and every person who shared the posts on social media. Thanks to everybody who liked, commented. Like, that stuff helps more than you know.
Yes.
When people say,
100%.
I can't make it out to the racetrack, how can I support? Share our posts.
Yep.
That's all you got to do.
I mean, like the post. It's all an algorithm. There's people out there that still, even though all the media that we put out on this race, that didn't know that there was a Pro Stock Nationals going on
There's
this
still
weekend.
people that had no idea we exist.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
and that's just the way it goes, unfortunately. But like Mark said, a simple share, a simple like goes a long ways nowadays, especially for the way that businesses market mostly on social media. I mean, flyers still work, but
Yep.
they only go so far, and social media goes a hell of a lot further. So that does help.
You can also go to any page that you feel, that you think needs more exposure. You can click the little 3 dots and say, invite friends.
Yep.
And you can just invite the page to your friends. And maybe you have a race fan in your group that you didn't know. Social media is how we stay alive, guys. We appreciate you watching this show each and every week as well and coming out to the racetracks. Big shout out to my entire crew from RaceDayTV that stuck out 4 days because we were there a day early setting up. Nate was a champ who not only took a big digger during the Pro Stock race, but he was also the campfire man who went and got food and cooked. And Nate holds down the fort. Last year, I got to tell this story real quick. At Oktoberfest, now Nate can't because he's in the infield with the camera. Last year, Nate was cooking food outside the trailer. And then I would have to yell to him, like, 4 laps to go. He would throw the camera on his shoulder, run to the thing, and then go out and tape and come back, and you'd come, like, flip the steaks and do the burgers. Always looking for new people on RaceDayTV as well.
Yeah,
and
someone at Tone hates camper.
I won't get into that. There's a story there. We won't talk about that. I can't do my guy that bad. We'll see you guys here next week. We'll see you out at Claremont Motorsports Park on Friday and Sunday. And if you're not going to be at Claremont, you can be at Hudson. It's the only way you're going to see that action because it is not broadcasted on RaceDayTV. And we have Monday Fun Day with the biggest race that we do for the Sportsman Modified. Yep. It's going to be phenomenal. I can't wait for the Choppy Baldwin Memorial. It always puts on a great show.
So Sunday, you and Parks will be at Claremont. Me and him will be in Hudson.
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer, folks. You're going to want to. Yeah, come on.
So we will see you next week, guys. Have a good one.
See you later.
Later, guys.